much, Patrick. Next today we have Compact Medical. Founder John Merrell trained as an engineer at the University of Virginia and as a physician at Eastern Virginia Medical School. His experience in a pediatric ICU inspired him to invent what the company intends to be the safest manual resuscitator in the world. Compact Medical makes the FDA-Cleared Butterfly BVM, the first bag valve mask that safely ventilates adults, children, and infants with a single device that will reduce injury from manual ventilation errors. Please welcome John Merrell, founder.
Hi, everybody. Morning. I would be willing to bet that every person here knows at least 14 people. And if that's true, then statistically speaking, you know someone, maybe somebody who you love, who will someday go into cardiac arrest. And when that happens, the only thing between life and death for that person will be high quality CPR. And yet we lose 80% of those who go into cardiac arrest. They don't survive CPR. And part of the reason for this is because lifesavers are still using bag valve mask technology that was originally invented in 1956. And the real problem, so this is the competitor's product. The real problem is that there's nothing that controls how much air the person gives. It's really easy to give too big of a breath or too frequent of a breath. Both of these things can actually pop a patient's lungs or restrict coronary artery blood flow, leading to death. Does that bother you a little bit to think that your loved one could be injured on the way to the hospital in the back of an ambulance by a piece of equipment that was originally designed to save their life? It bothers us, and that's why we made the Butterfly BVM. As mentioned, the Butterfly BVM is the first bag valve mask to be FDA cleared for any size of patient in a single product. So if I set this on infant, I'm giving a little baby breath. Teenager, adult, it adapts to any size of the patient. And once you've set the tidal volume on it, the biggest, burliest person on the back of that ambulance will not be able to give more air than what this has been set to give. It has led to up to an 87% reduction in human error during CPR. Now, as mentioned, I'm a UVA grad and biomed engineer and pediatrician. My coworker is a Purdue biomedical engineer. Natalie Christensen used to manage the finances of Medtronic before taking over at Compact Medical. We have deep regulatory, manufacturing, legal, and market expertise on our team. We are well aware of our competitors are doing, and trust me, they're well aware of what we are doing, and we're making them very nervous because the Butterfly BVM beats the competition hands down on features, and the new entrants that have come out the last few years are conveniently helping us to drive up and normalize a higher price point in this market. The global bag valve mask market is projected to reach $936 million by the year 2031. The US market today is about $220 million, and that's split between hospitals, ambulance services, and the military. We have partnered now with 3 world-class distributors here in the United States to go after the US market, and they have already placed orders for over 4,500 units. And we already, just last week, we cashed our first check for $150,000. Super exciting. I told my wife, sweetheart, look, it happened finally. So here's the thing. If you've ever backed a medical device or medical product before, you know that clinicians are creatures of habit. We tend to like the things that we know and stick with them. I can tell you that that is not the case with the Butterfly BVM. Let me prove it to you. In the last 2 months, this is the traction we've seen. On September 16th, we sent out our first email announcing to our target market that we were FDA cleared. Within 4 minutes, we had our first customer on the wait list. And to join the wait list, you have to be a decision maker. You have to be a purchaser or a chief at your agency. So we had first one in 4 minutes. October 22nd, 24th, we went to an international conference where we handed out about 200 free samples of the device that went home to different agencies across the United States and the world. From that, last week, we had 215 agencies or hospitals on our wait list within the United States, 40 from outside the United States. And that 215 constitutes over 1% of the US pre-hospital bag valve mask market already in just 2 months. And by the way, this is dated. Just in the last weekend, we've picked up 23 more agencies or hospitals who want to switch to our product. These are revenue projections. Because of what I'm describing, you see, we are confident that we'll be able to hit this. If we can just hit our medium revenue projections, we believe by middle of 2028, we should be hitting about 18 million in revenue, which positions us well for exit. Speaking of exit, we have already had multiple conversations with every one of the companies that you see on this screen here. These discussions have included discussions about M&A. There are some very, very large companies in the space who are very interested in what we're doing at Compact Medical. Thank you.